Hello, team. Today we are going to train on how to do returns and exchanges at Parkley. So there's so many, the fact that we have a guarantee that really does last the life of the jewelry is really one of the best features of our programs. And I know I have tons of customers, and I'm sure you do too, that have taken advantage of our return policy and exchange policy and love it and continue to buy from you because they've had good experiences. Now, typically they have good experiences with making a return or exchange when we are the ones who do the majority of the handling it for them. So I wanted to go over today the various circumstances and ways that returns and exchanges can come up so that you're prepared to handle it for them at least part of the way, pretty much every time. So let's first discuss the easiest one. So return number one is hostess just receives the jewelry, or customer just received the jewelry, right? And they call and they say, oh my gosh, Michelle, I opened up my jewelry and I love everything. It looks great. But when I picked up the, now and forever necklace, the claw was broken, or there was a crystal had fallen out. No problem. You just got it. Let me take care of that for you. Okay, when you receive information that something they just received within like 10 days or so, whether it could have been damaged in shipment, it could have been, how sometimes people get overzealous with opening it and they're like, they won't admit this, but sometimes they'll like cut the bubble wrap and like physically cut the necklace, or they struggled with taking the tag off and like just ripped it like a beast or whatever it is. And they sometimes do it, but regardless, when it's within about 10 days or so, then you call home office and have the show number available. So you're just going to call home office and say, hi, I have a hostess or I have a customer who just received her jewelry and there's an issue. They'll say, so you'll say it's 22497-9 and the hostess's name or the customer's name. And what they do at that point is they will say, okay, we are going to mail out a prepaid envelope to the customer, hostess, whomever. And in it will also be the replacement jewelry. Okay, so we don't make people wait for new pieces when it's something they just got. Now, that means really they just got it, not the hostess got it. It sat in her living room for a month and a half, and now she gave it out. I understand that the customer just received it, but the reality is that that's been sitting around for a month and a half, which is why it's important that we check back with our hostesses to make sure that she does in fact give out the jewelry. It's also why I ask every single guest, Jen, for $6.50, your order can come here to Trisha. For $10, it can go straight to your mailbox. What do you prefer? Because for $3.50, even people who live 2 blocks away will sometimes opt to get it straight to their mailbox because they know their friend's a pain in the neck. They know their friend is irresponsible or whatever the heck it is. They know that they're going to wait forever for this jewelry. So they will very often opt for the $10, okay? So, and how great is that? The envelope shows up, it has the new jewelry in it, they put the broken or damaged or whatever jewelry in the envelope, they close it, they drop it back in the mailbox to Park Lane, and off it goes. Okay, so that's the easiest, nicest, level 1 exchange. Okay, now, probably the most common one is the next one, which is the within 4 months something happened. Okay, so remember our return policy, our exchange policy covers damage no matter whose fault it is. So if someone has, the Glam and Go necklace and they have a toddler who likes to grab, if the kid grabs it and the pieces fly everywhere, Park Lane still covers that. If despite our instructions, if they cover it in hairspray, if they wear it in the shower, Park Lane will still replace it. Now, of course, whenever someone tells me, hey, Michelle, my such and such discolored, Especially if I end up looking at it, I can often attempt or ask a series of questions to help advise them to not happen again. Because, like, someone handed me an Ariana necklace one time that was clearly covered in hairspray. And I said to her, so now, hey, let me ask you this. Do you get dressed first and then do your hairspray after your jewelry and all? And she did. I said, okay, so the good news is this. That's what happened here. It's covered in hairspray. That's what caused it to become so dull. So from now on, do your jewelry after your hairspray. And she was like, oh, okay. And I haven't heard from her since. So, okay. So when someone texts you, calls you, or they bring it to a party or whatever, and they say, hey, the ballies in my crossover bracelet fell out. No problem. You have two options now. Option one is the best option, which is to do the online RMA. Okay, RMA stands for Return Merchandise Authorization. Okay, so I'm going to show you where this is on the Fields interface. Okay, so when you do an RMA, where you're going to go is where your normal order section is. So you're going to go to your order entry, and here's the shows that you have upcoming. Here's the shows that you've put in. So it can be something that's broken. It can be, you know what, I ordered the Lennox bracelet, but my husband actually likes the Agent bracelet better. Okay, that actually is a real thing that just happened to me. So we'll do this one. Okay, so that is, I know that I'm going to need the show info in order to process the RMA. So first I need to come to this screen, and I need to write down this number for Sandra, because this is her show number. So 27664-9. And Sandra's the hostess, so I'm all set with that. And I may even want to open it up and check out the item numbers. Okay, so now, see how under orders, all this time you've been choosing order entry, but see how there's existing RMA list and submit a new RMA. That's what you're going to click. So submit a new RMA. Okay. So here is start online return or exchange. So when you click this, the first thing it's asking you for is the order ID and the person's name. So that's Sandra's order number. And that's her name. Okay. So now here's all the things that she ordered. So let's say her ring didn't fit. I ordered her the 10, which she asked. I can choose exchange, replace, or refund each time. So if she wants to exchange it for a different size, then I'm going to click exchange. If she says, the blurred lines bracelet, maybe this was, a couple of months, and she says, oh, a stone fell out, I'm going to choose replace. Okay, so she actually wants to exchange the Lennox bracelet for something else. So I'm going to click exchange. And then here I need to enter what she wants to exchange it for. 13084. Oh, wait, that's the number for the Lennox bracelet. Hold on. 12884, which is the Agent bracelet. Okay, it actually happens to be two items that are the exact same price. Thank goodness. Okay, so now I just hit submit. Scroll down. As you can see, there's nothing owed. That is her address. However, she's bringing me the bracelet tomorrow, and I would rather, I might want to, have it come to me or what have you, but that's fine because I'm going to print the email out right now because my email is here. Okay, so I'm going to hit submit RMA. now I want to download the PDF. Oh, and I forgot that this turns into a whole thing where I have to convert it and everything now. A Mac is so annoying, just so you know. But then what I do is I just print it out. And then mail it away to Park Lane. Okay, so don't, here it is. All right, so I'll worry about that part later because you guys don't have to worry about my Mac problems. Okay, normally the form just comes right out and then you print it out and then you send it in. All said and done. So now that RMA is complete, and what I can do is also look at my existing RMA list, and it goes from the oldest to the newest, which is a little annoying. And I can pull up most recent ones. So, oh my goodness, what order is this? Are these in? So if I ever want to look up, if I look through this and I'm like, oh my goodness, why is this one from the 30th? Okay, this is the 30th. I just did this one the other day, so they're waiting for the package. Here's Sandra for today. And I can look that up as well. Okay, so that is how you do the RMA when you just, when you sold it to her and it's all set and everything. Okay, so hold on now. Let me go back to, there we go. Okay, so that is how you do them if you want to exchange one item for another, or if you want to do the exchange for the same item because it's damaged, a crystal fell out, the color is, messed up or anything like that, because it's within 4 months. If it's outside of the 4 months, you will also do it this way. The only difference is going to be there will be the $7 fee. Once the 4 months period has passed, the only option that will highlight is to replace, because you can't exchange for a different item after that length of time. It's 30 days to exchange for a different item, and then after that, it's replacement only, okay? So for 4 months, you can exchange, okay? So after 4 months, the only choice is exchange for the same item. So you will not even see exchange as a choice anymore. You'll only get replace as a choice. And then it'll be the exact same thing. You'll see that there's a place for a $7 fee at the bottom. You put in the credit card info, and I'll be honest with you, I do take care of $7 fees for people, because usually people who do want to do exchanges are good customers, because that's why they have exchanges, because they have a lot of jewelry, and I am not going to nickel and dime somebody over that. I would much rather just make them happy, and I've had people that will say in front of everybody at a show, yeah, the return policy is great. I mean, I just had to exchange something, I got a brand new one, and it's very often people I just paid $7 or $14 for them. But here they are encouraging everybody to purchase. Whereas if I had said, okay, now I need your credit card for the $7, she would have been like, oh, what? And she would not be boasting about the program at the next party. So it's $7 well spent, and it is, it goes on my taxes, write-offs at the end of the year. So definitely no big deal. Now, so this is how it works, doing this RMA. When you sold it to them, it's no problem. You can pull it up on your computer, because you'll have people say within and outside the 4 months, oh my gosh, but I don't have the receipt anymore. Now, the I don't have a receipt anymore is no problem when the item is still available. Because if the item is still available, you have two options. One is you do the RMA on your end. You sold it to them, so they'll come up in your program, and you just pay the $7 because you know when she bought it. You can figure it out. And then the backup plan is to just use the generic exchange form. When you go to the downloads on the fields interface, what you'll see is when you go to field interface here and you go into the downloads, you see here is return and replacement form. If I click on this, it's going to show you the same annoying converter thing. But what it looks like is this. Now, notice, save yourself from ink. This is 2 pages because the second page is a return form in Spanish. So when you go to print, just print 1 page, assuming you don't need it in Spanish. If you are needing it in Spanish, then just print page 2. But see how all this is it looks the same as the back of the receipt. So it's just, what is the item? What do they want over here? The only option on this form is to replace. Okay, you cannot ever use this form and get something different. This is only to replace for the same item. And it's automatically going to incur a $7 fee because there's no receipt. This isn't the real receipt for it. So there's no way for Park Lane to know if it was or was not in the 4-month period. So I'll be honest, if it's a piece of my own that I'm not sure when I got it, if it's from a customer that I can't seem to know when they found it, but it's an item that's currently available, it's no problem, then I just use this form because I'm not going to go crazy wasting my time looking for it on an RMA form, okay? Then you just fill in your information here or her information, whatever the case may be, and you mail it away. Okay, so that is how you do it using the generic return form.
And Michelle, it's $7 per item. So if you're sending back lots, it's $7 per item, right?
That is correct. That's why it's really worth it. This is my other tip I want to give you. Anytime you redeem for Rich Rewards, anytime you run a sale and you're keeping all those receipts, anytime you place an order for a bunch of different people that all ends up on your name, you save every single one of those receipts. I have an entire desk, drawer dedicated to receipts in time order because when I have somebody just randomly show up, last week when I had, a couple of weeks ago, I did a launch for someone, and the girl that I was launching said, hey, one of my guests is bringing a bracelet she wants to return. And of course, I'm like, oh God, please be a current item, because I have no idea what she's showing up with. Thank you, Lord. She showed up with a silver blurred lines bracelet. So I said, no problem. Let me take care of that for you. And she gave it to me. And in fact, it just arrived today. So now I'm going to get that out to the customer. And I just used this form. I used the regular $7 form here and got her a new one. I paid the $7 because I'm not going to have my brand new person pay it. I'm not going to have a customer who bought a year ago, doesn't even know who she bought it from, and therefore has no relationship with the person. I want her to feel great about buying from Sherry now. So that is why I was happy to take care of that. So that, now we get up to the part of what if they don't have the receipt? What if you didn't sell it to them? Or even if you did sell it to them, once an item is no longer available, paper receipts are needed. And this is why customers really should be encouraged to hold on to their paper receipt. Because if somebody who I sold a blurred lines bracelet to last year wants to exchange it and doesn't have her receipt, that's fine because it's still available. I can do it on a plain form, or I can do it on my on an RMA that I sold it to her. If I sold it to her, if I didn't sell it to her, I can still do it on a plain form. But the problem becomes once the item is gone. Okay, when the item is gone entirely, when you go online to do an RMA, it will not come up. It will not let you click exchange. It will not let you click replace. And that's when you must have the actual receipt. So, because if someone has the actual receipt, and this applies to you yourself, then all you do, let me grab a receipt here. Okay, so on the back of every page of a receipt is a return form. So this has a Penelope necklace on it. Right now, the Penelope necklace is available. If next year the Penelope necklace is sold out and mine breaks, I can take out this receipt, do Penelope necklace, and request for it to be replaced. Maybe I don't even know, right? Or if I did know, but that's when I would get back a merchandise credit for $98 because I had the original receipt, and Park Lane will honor that with the paper receipt. So then I would not get my Penelope necklace back, but what I would get back is a merchandise credit for $98. And now I can go ahead and get a Solara. I can get whatever I want with $98. So that is why you want to keep reams of your receipts, so that for when this happens to you yourself, but even if you're going to need it to help a customer out. You know, I've definitely gone through receipts and looked for an angel necklace, looked for, you know, things that were popular at one time that are no longer currently available. Okay, so that's the scoop on the various ways that you can do the returns and exchanges for people. When someone just sends me a message, you know, my hostess from Queens who said, you know, my such and such bracelet needs an exchange, I do the RMA, but the system automatically emails it to her. So I'll say, okay, Maida, check your email. I just sent it to you. All you need to do is print the email and mail the bracelet to the address shown on the email, and they will send you a brand new one. So the only action she has to take is print an email and mail it away. And if it's still like let's say it was the sacred necklace, all these little necklaces, I mean, that's like, you can get away with 3 stamps on an envelope and put the necklace in a paper towel and it's fine. So any questions, or was there anything that I did not cover?
No.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, was this helpful?
Yes, definitely. I was kind of a little bit confused on the last one when it was not available anymore. So that was a good one for me.
Yeah, and that's really where that big value comes in, because, you know, if someone has a $100 item that's no longer available, but we can come up with a paper receipt for it, they can pick an entirely other $100 item.
Yeah, I just am in the process of going through that with a tiramisu watch. So yeah, it's a big item. And
yeah, I mean, you sold somebody a tiramisu watch that you might have a receipt for.
Yeah.
And if not, then like reach out and see.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know. Yeah, we've got it. Yeah.
I have one of each.
Yeah, no, me too. So we're getting it, taken care of. But that's just a good reminder. And I didn't realize the back of the receipt and that process. So
right, and of course, the back of the receipt way is an option at all times to be clear.
Yeah.
So if someone says, you know, I want to exchange or something's wrong with it, I have my receipt in my hand, then I just tell them, oh, I don't even bother doing the email.
Easy. Yeah.
Fill out the grid on the back, but specify, because sometimes people do all those steps and feel the need to make a copy because they're like afraid.
Yes.
And I'll tell them, no, the real receipt goes in there with it. You'll get it back with the jewelry, not to worry. Yeah. So it does have to be the real receipt, not a copy. All right, well, I will get this recording uploaded and posted, and hopefully this will help everyone forever and ever with how to do exchanges. Thanks for coming on, girls.
All righty, have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.